From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolynny TV. And welcome back to another Edmonton Oilers trade discussion. First thing in the morning for me. I like it. I love it. I am excited. The Edmonton Oilers have finally traded Ryan Spooner. Now, problem is we've traded him for a guy of pretty much equal value in Sam Gagner, if you can believe it. You guys believe that? Sam Gagner is back as an Edmonton Oiler, and now we have a lot to get through because Ryan Spooner, there's a lot of asterisks attached to his time as an Oiler due to being traded for Ryan Strome, who was traded for Jordan Eberle, who was traded all the way back to Mark Messier. So now the trade tree somehow comes back around to an ex-Oiler in Sam Gagner, if you can believe that or not. So that is quite the adventure. According to Bob McKenzie, it was Elliot Friedman, I believe, who had the first couple of tweets out on it. He mentioned that Sam Gagner was being worked on by the Oilers. Then it was a Spooner type deal, and bang, then Bob McKenzie comes in, sums it up. Vancouver trades Sam Gagner to Edmonton for Ryan Spooner. Even up, no salary retained. Absolutely nuts. And let's see here, on the same line for the first time since Stick Swing, Ryan Spooner for Sam Gagner. Vancouver and Edmonton make a trade. Jim Benning reunited with a player he had in Boston. Okay, so there you go. It's all the way back to that, right? So Ryan Spooner goes back to Boston back to Boston ties with Jim Benning, and Sam Gagner back to his Edmonton roots with the Edmonton Oilers. So it's good. It's time. Well, it's all right. I guess there's a lot of Twitter reaction here. Oh, okay. So guys are quite ripping it apart on Twitter. And now, guys, let's get to the stats here because this is where it gets fun. Ryan Spooner in 25 games as an Edmonton Oiler this year had 2 goals, 1 assist, and 3 points. So, that's tough. That's tough. And this, Elliot Friedman just updated, it's a near wash in salary because New York retained the salary on Spooner, so it's almost dead even. And in 7 games with Bakersfield Condors, Ryan Spooner had 2 goals and 4 assists. Mind you, that's during their 14-game win streak, so everything going right, everything going good. And that pretty much means, I think, that Jesse Puljujärvi, just based on looking at those AHL stats and a light bulb going off in my head, Jesse Puljujärvi is very likely to be going down to the AHL at this point unless some big trade gets worked out. And now we go talk about what Sam Gagner has done in the NHL this year. He's been buried in the AHL for pretty much 90% of the season. He's had 7 games with the Vancouver Canucks, 3 points, a goal and 2 assists. And with the Toronto Marlies, where he's been on loan because it's just been a mess with Sam Gagner in Edmonton, essentially. 43 games played, 12 goals, 25 assists, 37 points for Sam Gagner down there in the AHL. So like I said, it's AHL guy for AHL guy, although you start looking at a couple other situations here. And for the Oilers, the big key here is, of course, Brad Malone, Kyle Brodziak, and Colby Cave are the bottom 3, however you want to look at it, centers on this team. So Sam Gagner, he is not first line Sam Gagner, the kid line back in the day, but he comes in and he can potentially do something a bit different for us, right? Come in there and change things a little bit and hopefully brighten up our spirits, because for Sam Gagner, it's been a long journey back to the Oilers. I mean, you go here, let's go to his cap-friendly trade history on June. See, I'm talking about today's trade. June 29th, 2014. He went from the Oilers to the Lightning, then from the Lightning to the Arizona Coyotes, and then on the June 27th, 2015, went from the Coyotes to the Flyers, signed in Vancouver, and is now back in Edmonton. So there you go. That's what I'm talking about, and it's almost an exact wash for the Oilers in terms of salary. When you come down to compare salary between Sam Gagner and Ryan Spooner, it's a $50,000 difference, which is a negative to the Oilers' salary cap. However, with the salary cap freed up for the Oilers yesterday with the Cam Talbot deal, well, all of a sudden now you're looking at, hey, you know what? Now we just need Manning, Petrovic, somebody to go down, and suddenly we are flying and all is good. I don't think Sam Gagner is 100% going to be activated up to the NHL roster, and unless something goes completely right here, and we trade like Manning or Petrovic, and maybe we should get back to Twitter here quickly to double check everything is good. Taylor Hall and Jordan Eberle for Adam Larsson and Sam Gagner. Okay, we're just ripping apart the trade. So Ryan Spooner, they're traded, and there you go. It's official by the Oilers Twitter. Have acquired forward Sam Gagner and from the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for Ryan Spooner. So there you go. The Ryan Spooner saga is done. Now we end up with Sam Gagner somehow again, and it's good. Edmonton gets a cap saving of $850,000 next year. Spooner has 1 year left at $4 million and has maybe not. Maybe New York retaining $900,000 on Spooner. Never mind. So Bob McKenzie's saying yes, no, maybe so with the whole Ryan Spooner situation. So maybe we don't get the cap saving next year. Maybe we do. We'll find out because there was a couple of questions as to that. And now let's go get to the next point. Jack Michaels bringing up the 40-point seasons for Sam Gagner. So guys, you look back at what Sam Gagner did with the Edmonton Oilers back in the day. Entered the league in 07-08, had a 49-point season. Entered the next season, 41 points. The next season, 41 points. The next season, 2010-2011, 42 points. 2011-2012, 47 points. Then in the lockout year, 38 points. He wore an A in 13-14, 37 points. And then you go down to where he got traded. So for the Edmonton Oilers, it's been a long time coming to reunite with a guy that maybe they did a lot wrong by during those years, right? A guy who had sky-high potential in terms of Oilers fans thinking, and you sit here and look, man, we really botched that with the dark years, didn't we? Sam Gagner, Andrew Cogliano, those guys could have been something if the Oilers weren't absolute hot, flaming garbage, like they pretty much are now, minus McDavid. I know, that's a hard criticism, but that's essentially all I have to say on that kind of situation, because for the Oilers, we're no better off than we were before. With Sam Gagner, without Sam Gagner, whatever. So now Sam Gagner, a member of the Edmonton Oilers. Let's see if they're going to count him buried in the AHL or if they're going to count him in the NHL. And right now, yes, he's going to be buried. So next year, you know what? No matter what, next year we save $50,000 on his minor salary. So makes sense. Although next year I believe he would 100% be an NHLer for this Edmonton Oilers team, especially if we can free up some cap space. So guys, that's essentially the breakdown. Now, when you're talking about how this is going to impact the Oilers, I think, like I said, comes back to you make another 2 or 3 moves, right? You send away Manning, you send away Petrovic, or you send away somebody up front, and you just make the moves made so as you can bring up Gagner from the AHL and you can bring up Andrei Sekera. Bring up NHL caliber guys. Not that Sam Gagner is exactly NHL caliber per se, but he's a veteran. He's a guy who's been here before, and honestly, why not give him a shot? The guy coming home deserves a shot. Give him a shot in the pros again and see what happens. He does have 3 points in 7 games played this year, so you can't exactly crap on him for being washed 100%. He's still produced something this year. Half a point per game is a lot better than half the Oilers, 90% of the Oilers, 3/4 of the Oilers, whatever fraction you want to throw out there, guys. So it's going to be interesting to see. And my favorite thing here is going to be Sam Gagner. If he gets back with the Edmonton Oilers, it's going to mean so much to guys who grew up watching the Oilers during the dark years like me, right? Obviously, for a guy like me, I tuned in early November, late October, sometime in the 05-06 season. Then you run all the way to the playoffs, a team that, holy crap, just made itself all the way there. And then you get into the dark years, 06-07, Ryan Smith's traded, and then you just move along, right? And it just slowly gets worse day by day. And then you have Sam Gagner, Andrew Cogliano. They're bright spots, but not very bright. And it just never got better up until Connor McDavid was drafted, because Taylor Hall, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, nothing got good there. And then we get a playoff run with Connor McDavid. Sure, that's fun, that's exciting, but we crap out in the second round due to reffing. And now we're sitting here 2 years after that playoff run, sitting here talking about reacquiring Sam Gagner from the dark years. So you understand where I'm coming from. It's going to be good for a guy like me to re-see Sam Gagner as a veteran, as an older guy now, instead of the young kid that he was and just being marveled at hockey players back in the day. So guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I think the Oilers come out of this a little bit better off than they were with Ryan Spooner, but not much. Guys, I will catch you in a next one.